They laughed when he opened the crate. Not because it was empty, not because it was broken, but because the rifle inside looked cheap. No official military stamp, no government-issued serial, no famous arsenal mark. Just a mail-order rifle, shipped to a farm boy who had never fired a shot in combat. The officers shook their heads. The seasoned soldiers smirked. One man whispered, "That thing will get him killed." 4 days later, 11 of Japan's deadliest snipers were silent forever, and the laughter was gone. This is the true World War II story of the man they underestimated, and the rifle they mocked. Until the jungle itself learned to fear his name, the rifle nobody respected, the boy from nowhere. He didn't look like a killer. No scarred face, no hardened eyes, no battlefield swagger, just a quiet young man from rural America. The kind of place where mornings smelled like wet soil and gun oil, and evenings ended with crickets instead of sirens. He grew up hunting rabbits, not men, deer at long range, not enemy soldiers hiding in trees. But what he did have was patience, and patience in war is deadlier than anger. When the draft came, he didn't celebrate. He didn't resist. He packed his bag, hugged his family, and brought with him the only weapon he trusted, a rifle he had ordered through a catalog. "You bought that?" The rifle arrived at camp in a plain wooden crate. No ceremony, no inspection line. When he opened it, a few soldiers gathered around. Someone laughed. "Where'd you get that, Sears?" Another added, "Hope you kept the receipt." The U.S. Army issued Springfields. The Marines loved their Garands. But this was a commercial hunting rifle, paid for with his own money. Accurate, simple, reliable, but not official. To the others, that made it a joke. To him, it made it perfect. Why he refused an Army rifle? The officers offered to replace it. He refused, because he knew something they didn't. He had fired that rifle thousands of times. He knew its trigger like a heartbeat. He knew exactly how far the bullet dropped at 300 yards. He knew how the scope breathed when the barrel warmed. Military rifles were standardized. His rifle was personal, and war doesn't care about standard issue. It cares about results. Arrival in the Pacific. The jungle didn't welcome them. It swallowed them. Humidity soaked uniforms within minutes. Mosquitoes hummed like engines. The ground rotted under boots. And worst of all, you never saw the enemy. Japanese snipers were ghosts, hidden in trees, buried in spider holes, camouflaged so perfectly that men would walk past them and never walk again. Every unit feared them. Every patrol lost someone. The first shot. On the second week it happened. A corporal dropped mid-step. No warning. No sound of just blood and silence. Everyone froze. No one could see where it came from. Except him. He felt it. A shift in the jungle. A leaf trembling where no wind touched it. He raised the mail-order rifle. One breath. One squeeze. The shot cracked, sharp and clean. Then nothing. They waited. Minutes passed. When scouts moved in, they found the sniper still gripping his rifle. A single bullet through the eye. No one laughed this time. 4 days of hell begin. Word spread quietly, not officially, not in reports, but in whispers. If you hear a single shot, he's nearby. If you hear two, another sniper is gone. Japanese marksmen began changing positions more often. It didn't help. He didn't rush. He waited. Sometimes hours, sometimes an entire day, because patience had hunted deer. Now it hunted men. Day 1. 3 snipers. The first day he took 3. One from a treetop nest, one crawling between roots, one who never fired a shot, because he never saw death coming. Each kill was confirmed. Each body shocked the unit. By nightfall, officers were asking him questions instead of laughing. Day 2. Fear spreads. Japanese snipers began missing shots, rushing, panicking. They knew someone was hunting them, and they didn't know from where. He adjusted nothing. Same rifle, same scope, same calm breath. 4 more fell. 7 total, in just 2 days. The rifle gets a name. Someone scratched a mark into the stock. Another added a notch. By the 3rd night, the rifle had a nickname. Not official, not spoken loudly, but respected. The same men who mocked it now asked to touch it, as if accuracy might rub off. Day 3, the duel. One sniper was different, careful, smart. He waited and waited. So did our man. 2 predators locked in silence. Then, a reflection. The tiniest glint of glass. One shot. The duel ended. 8. Day 4. The jungle goes quiet. By the 4th day, something strange happened. The shooting stopped. No sniper fire. No sudden deaths. Scouts confirmed it. 11 enemy snipers eliminated in 4 days by one man with a rifle they once laughed at. What comes next? Tease. But this wasn't the end. Because when command finally noticed, they tried to take his rifle away. And what happened next changed sniper warfare forever. When command tried to take his rifle, that weapon is not authorized. The order came quietly, too quietly. An officer approached him after evening chow, posture stiff, tone rehearsed. Private? Command wants a word. Inside the tent, the air was thick with cigarette smoke and tension. A lieutenant didn't look up from his clipboard. That rifle of yours, he said, tapping the paper, is not authorized combat equipment. No praise, no acknowledgement of 11 confirmed kills, just rules. You'll be issued a standard service rifle starting tomorrow. The words landed harder than any bullet. The one thing he wouldn't give up. He stood there silently. Then carefully he said, Sir, I'd like to keep my rifle. The lieutenant finally looked up. You don't get preferences in war. Another officer added, You got lucky. Don't push it. Lucky. That word burned. He had waited hours for each shot. Measured wind through leaves. Ignored sweat stinging his eyes. Luck had nothing to do with it. Still, he nodded. Orders were orders. That night men died. The next patrol went out without him, and without his rifle. By dawn, 3 men were dead. 2 shot clean through helmets. 1 bled out before medics could reach him. Japanese sniper fire had returned, precise and confident. The jungle remembered how to kill again. The after-action report nobody could ignore. This time, the report reached higher command. It listed times, angles, distances, and one line stood out. Sniper activity ceased entirely during period when Private Redacted operated independently. Command didn't like coincidences. They liked results. A quiet reversal. The next evening, the same lieutenant returned. Different tone, different eyes. Private, you may retain your rifle. Pause. And effective immediately, you're detached from standard patrol duty. He slid a folded paper across the table. Special assignment. The unofficial sniper. There was no ceremony, no badge, no rank change. Officially, he didn't exist. Unofficially, he was now the man units requested when snipers appeared. He worked alone. Sometimes with a spotter, often without. No radio chatter, no heroics, just silence. And waiting. The bounty. Japanese intelligence noticed. They always did. Captured documents later revealed it. A bounty had been issued, not for a unit, not for officers, for one American sniper using a non-standard rifle. They didn't know his name, but they knew his method, and they wanted him dead. When the hunters came, it started subtly. More movement at night, false shots to draw him out, snipers working in pairs. He adapted. He changed positions after every shot. Stopped using the same vantage twice. Sometimes didn't fire at all, just watched. Patience again. The trap he walked into. On the 3rd special mission it happened. A perfect setup. Too perfect. Enemy fire intentionally missed. A wounded soldier left visible, screaming. Everything in training said don't go. Everything humans said help him. He moved anyway. And the jungle exploded. Surrounded. Shots cracked from 3 directions. Dirt kicked up inches from his face. He rolled, crawled, disappeared into brush. The wounded man, a decoy. Japanese snipers were trying to do to him what he had done to them. For the first time, he was the prey. The rifle saves him. Pinned down, he did something insane. He waited. The snipers expected panic. He gave them stillness. One moved first. A leaf snapped. One shot, then another, then silence again. They never realized he had already memorized the terrain hours earlier. By nightfall, 3 enemy snipers were dead, and he walked back alone. The men stopped laughing forever. From that day on, no one joked about the rifle. Men stepped aside when he cleaned it, lowered voices when he passed. They weren't afraid of him. They were grateful, because sniper fire meant terror, and his presence meant survival. The question that haunted him. One night, a young replacement asked, "How many have you killed?" He didn't answer. because he didn't count like others did. Each shot had a face, a moment, a memory. He wasn't proud. He was precise, the mission that changed everything. Then came the order marked urgent. An entire platoon pinned down. Multiple snipers. Impossible terrain. Command wanted artillery. He requested something else. Time. Alone into the green hell. He moved before dawn. No backup. No extraction plan. Just the rifle. And patience. He crawled for hours. Ignored ants biting into skin. Ignored cramps locking muscles. By midday, he was behind enemy lines. And the hunt began. One by one. He didn't fire rapidly. He fired correctly. A sniper aiming at the platoon? Gone. Another repositioning? Gone. The rest panicked. Bad moves. Bad choices. By sunset, the jungle was quiet again. The platoon walked out untouched. Command finally understands. That night, a colonel shook his hand. No speech, just 4 words. Keep doing what you do. What comes next? But war doesn't let legends rest, because soon, the enemy would send their best sniper, a man trained specifically to kill him, and their meeting would become one of the deadliest duels of the Pacific War. The sniper sent to kill him. The man they sent. The Japanese sniper wasn't ordinary. He wasn't desperate. He wasn't rushed. He was chosen, handpicked from veterans who had survived years in China and the Pacific. Men who had learned patience the hard way. His rifle was custom-tuned. His camouflage was flawless. His orders were simple. Find the American. Kill him. Bring proof. No bounty mattered anymore. Honor did. A predator who studied his prey. Unlike the others, the sniper didn't fire immediately. He watched. He mapped patterns, not positions and habits. When the American moved, when he waited, when he didn't shoot. He learned that this man never fired twice from the same place. So he didn't look for muzzle flashes. He looked for stillness that didn't belong. The first miss happened near dusk. A bullet sliced bark inches from the American's head. Clean, controlled, not a warning shot, a message. He froze. No panic, no movement. Whoever fired that round was good, very good. The longest night. Neither fired again. All night they waited. Mosquitoes bit, rain-soaked clothing, muscles cramped. Any movement meant death. At dawn, fog rolled in. Visibility dropped to nothing. The enemy sniper shifted position. Just once, just enough. The shot that almost ended it. The American fired. The round hit wood, not flesh. For the first time in weeks, he had missed. And missing meant exposure. The return shot came instantly. Pain exploded across his shoulder. Not fatal, but real. Blood soaked into his sleeve. He didn't scream. He didn't run. He vanished. Wounded, hunted. The enemy knew he had hit him. He smiled. Wounded men make mistakes. They rush. They breathe harder. They bleed. The Japanese sniper followed slowly. Confident. Patient. Deadly. The trick no one expected. The American did something no sniper should do. He stayed close. Instead of retreating, he circled, used the terrain he had memorized days earlier. He crawled through mud, through roots, through insects and rot. Pain throbbed. Blood dripped. But patience held. Eye to eye. It happened suddenly. Too suddenly. They spotted each other at the same time, less than 30 yards apart. No scopes, no camouflage advantage. Just 2 men, 2 rifles, 1 breath. The mail-order rifles moment. The enemy fired first. The shot went wide. A fraction of a second. The American fired second. And that second was everything. The bullet struck clean, center mass. The elite sniper fell without a sound. The duel was over. Proof for command. The American took the rifle's bolt. Standard confirmation. No celebration. Just relief. He wrapped his wounded shoulder and moved back toward friendly lines. Slowly, carefully, alive. What the enemy never learned. They never understood why he won. It wasn't better training. It wasn't luck. It was familiarity. He knew his rifle like a body part. The trigger pull, the recoil, the exact delay between breath and break. Mail order or not, it was an extension of him. The cost of being invisible. His wound sidelined him briefly. Not long, but long enough to think about the men he killed, the men he saved, and how easily war turned skill into necessity. The legend spreads quietly. There were no medals, no press, just stories told in low voices. The one with the civilian rifle. The guy who hunts snipers. The reason we're still alive. One last test awaits. He thought the worst was behind him. He was wrong. Because Command had one final request, the most dangerous yet. A mission where even patience might not be enough. The last mission. We don't have anyone else. The colonel didn't sugarcoat it. A map lay open on the crate between them. Red pencil marks everywhere. A ridgeline. Dense jungle. Perfect sniper terrain. An entire company was pinned down. Again, multiple enemy shooters. Overlapping fields of fire. Artillery would kill friendlies. Air support couldn't see through canopy. The colonel met his eyes. You're the only option. No glory in the answer. He didn't ask for details. He didn't ask for backup. He nodded. Because saying no meant more body bags. Into the kill zone. Before dawn he moved. Slow. Low. Alone. Every step measured. The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. Experienced snipers didn't waste shots. They waited. The ambush springs. The first round snapped past his ear. A second hit dirt inches from his knee. He dropped. Rolled. The ridge erupted with fire. At least 4 shooters. Maybe more. He was inside their kill box. The unthinkable happens. He lined up his shot. Breathed out. Squeezed. Click! Nothing. A misfire. His heart slammed. Mail order or not. Metal fails. For the first time, his rifle betrayed him. Seconds to live. He cleared the chamber. Hands shaking. Another round cracked overhead. Leaves exploded. He fired. One sniper down. But they knew exactly where he was now. Choosing who lives. He had a choice. Withdraw and survive. Or stay and draw fire away from the trapped company. He stayed, making himself the target. He fired deliberately, from visible positions, not to hide, but to pull attention. Snipers shifted toward him. Exactly as planned. Each shot bought time. Each risk saved lives. The rifle redeems itself. The misfire never returned. He moved. Shot. Moved again. 3 more enemy snipers fell. Then another. Silence followed. The company breaks free. With pressure gone, the trapped men moved, one by one, alive. They later said it felt like the jungle exhaled. Extraction. By the time reinforcements arrived, he was gone. Already moving back, bleeding, exhausted, still standing. The war moves on. Weeks later, his unit redeployed. Different island, different jungle. Same work, but the intensity faded. Enemy sniper activity dropped. They learned. Or they ran out of men. The war ends for him. When the war finally ended, there was no parade. He packed his rifle. The same one. Scarred stock. Worn bluing. Mail order. Proven. He shipped it home the same way he'd bought it. In a crate. What he never told anyone. He never spoke of numbers. Never corrected exaggerations. He didn't want to be remembered as a killer. He wanted to be remembered as someone who made it safer for others to come home. Almost done. One last chapter remains. But the story doesn't end there. Because years later, someone would finally ask him about the rifle, and his answer would silence the room. They never built a statue for him. No medal ceremony. No history books. Just a man who trusted a rifle everyone laughed at. He didn't fight for fame. He didn't fight for numbers. He fought so others could walk out of the jungle alive. And when the war ended, he went home quietly, with the same rifle he brought. A mail-order gun, a forgotten soldier, and a story war itself couldn't erase. Sometimes the deadliest weapon isn't what the army gives you. It's what you believe in, when no one else does.